Hey, am I the asshole? Where people go through, it's a very famous subreddit where people confess their stories and ask the proper question to see what people think about it. We're going to be reviewing some of the top ones for the month. I don't often go on this subreddit, so this should be pretty interesting. My daughter, 28-year-old female, and I, 56-year-old female, have a tough relationship. I can take the blame for all this, but when she told me she was a lesbian at 15, I didn't react well. I didn't kick her out of the house or do anything else, but I said terrible things, and our relationship, which was wonderful, turned into barely talking. My husband woke me up 2 years after she came out, and I started trying to improve my thoughts, my prejudices, and try to understand all of this better. But our relationship was already badly damaged because of me. I apologized to her for the things I said, which had a heart to heart conversation, and she was very sincere in saying she was very sincere in saying when she will leave the house, she will cut off contact with me because despite accepting my apology, she was no longer trusted me as a person who she wants around. Okay. I wanted this, and I accepted this, and after going to college, she actually cut off 90% of contact with me, and I tried to get closer or go to therapy together, but she refused, and so I respected it. We even had some contact while my husband was alive. Okay, husband died, all right. Because she attended the end of the year parties, but after he passed away 3 years ago, if we talked 3 times, she didn't want to talk, and I respected that because I'm aware of what I did. 2 weeks ago, I was in a car accident and I broke 2 of my ribs. Jesus. My arm and had several scratches on my body. It was nothing too serious. I'm recovering well and I have help at home. I didn't say anything to my daughter because we don't talk and she lives 8 hours away. She called me yesterday asking if I had really been in an accident, and when I confirmed, she started to argue with me, saying I shouldn't know this kind of thing from my cousin, but from you. But I was honest here and said that if we hadn't talked in months, almost a year. I'm respecting what she asked, and I thought it was a topic she wasn't interested in, but or whatever. She started to say that even though we didn't talk, I had to tell her this type of information because she was my daughter and only immediate family, and not to hide it from her. She's upset with me, but because I've received a bag from the pharmacy with pain medication and other things from her, I'm feeling bad, but I'm also doing what she asked, which is that we have no contact. Am I the asshole? Question mark. I think you're trying to do the right thing, whoever you are, mom. But yeah, no, this is pretty important stuff you got to talk about. I mean, like you just said, her dad passed away. She's your only immediate family, or vice versa. You are respecting her boundaries, I guess, by not wanting to talk. But when it comes to like medical emergencies where you could have died, yeah, I think that's pretty important stuff. I don't think that makes you the a-hole at all. Just maybe not the best action to take without like to not tell your daughter. I definitely don't think it makes you like a bad person or an asshole, but definitely should have stepped up and said something despite her wishes, because one day you might die and she's gonna be like, oh my gosh, why didn't she tell me this was happening? You know, let's see what the comments had to say. Yeah, ignoring everything in the past year, not judging on the present NTA. She is the one who maintained a no contact relationship. You respected her wishes for years and kept your distance, which is what I was saying. I mean, that's respectful. It's ridiculous for her to scold you for doing as she requested, and you can't be faulted for respecting her wishes. She can't change the rules and play the victim, right? Because she was the one who said she didn't want to have any contact after what was said, and you respected that. So upset about it kind of is a double standard. She's going to be upset with you either way because you contacted her after not being told not to, or you didn't contact her, so it wasn't in the mindset for what was acceptable. Yeah, I mean, this comment seems about right. I'm going to upvote that. Supreme Court just has. I've never heard of that, but all right. It's possible for the daughter to get a real scare after the accident and is now regretting how much distance there was. Yeah, I mean, after having the, like, the request to keep minimal contact at all costs with your mother, like having that kind of relationship will eventually lead to like death of the relationship or the person if you never ever talk to them. So yeah, this definitely makes sense. Uninviting my friend from my Oscar party over a bottle of whiskey. I mean, okay, I just by the title that seems a little. There must be a lot of context for this bottle of whiskey because I don't. I mean, I don't know. Unless it was like very special and he broke it and then you uninvited him. Okay, but I'm sure there's a lot more to the story than that. We've been doing that since we moved in together 5 years ago. We dressed up well, place bets on the winners, and eat popcorn. It's a fun tradition. We've been doing that since we moved into together 5 years ago. We dressed up well, place bets on the winners, and eat popcorn. It's a tradition that many of our friends look forward to every year. One of those people is Rick, a 28-year-old male, a friend of mine from college. My wife loves whiskey. Okay. Shortly before last year's party, my FIL father-in-law gave her a bottle of Macallan. He said he'd spent $175 on it. Kate gave birth to our first child in 2022 and was still breastfeeding last year, so she decided to save the bottle for after our son had weaned. During last year's watch party, Rick got wasted. While reaching for something else in our liquor cabinet, he accidentally dropped and broke the bottle. He apologized profusely once he sobered up. I was angry, but the whiskey was Kate's and she forgave him, so I decided to drop the subject. A couple weeks after that, we asked Rick how he planned on replacing the bottle. He was shocked at our question and told us he didn't intend to. Rick's been having money problems for a while and struggles to pay his rent. He said that since we knew about his condition, it was unreasonable for us to expect him to pay for a $175 bottle of whiskey. I told Rick he had until this year's Oscar party, which was months away at the time, to save up for a new bottle. If he didn't, he wouldn't be welcome at our place for the party. At the time, he agreed. Throughout the year, I asked him about the savings several times. He always told me that he was close to the goal. Last week, I asked Rick about it again. He confessed he hadn't actually saved up any money for the bottle, so I kept my promise and uninvited him for the party. Both Rick and his girlfriend, who frequently joins him at our parties, are now angry at me for uninviting him over a drunken mistake. They also insist that I'm being unsympathetic and entitled by expecting Rick to pay for a new bottle. Kate's on my side, but is worried we're being too harsh. I don't think we are, but as Sunday approaches, I'm starting to feel guilty. I have less than 2 days to sort this out. Am I the asshole? Alright, so first of all, I mean, you said this month. I think it depends how you handle it. If it's like, this is what you said and he didn't pay up and you insisted him to pay up for something he broke, taking responsibility, no, that doesn't make you the asshole. And plus it's like what, $175 bottles of whiskey. You know how many games I could get with that? No, I mean that sounds completely fair deal, that if you pay for the bottle back, since it was very special to her or the family, and well, he broke it when he was drunk. I think that's pretty fair. I don't think I mean, personally, I mean, that absolutely sucks and you hope they do it, but I don't think that should just, I don't know. I guess I feel kind of bad for uninviting anybody. I mean, if it's because of something like that. I generally try to just let people in anyways, even if it's not something I want, which maybe not always the best decision, but who knows. So no, I wouldn't say this person is the asshole. I mean, they stood the ground. There's something they broke and it was very important, and even if you do feel guilty, sometimes you got to make a boundary, since it didn't seem like they were really taking responsibility for it anyways. Let's see some of the comments. Not the asshole. Wasted or not, he broke something that a father gifted his daughter and lied about replacing it. Yeah, like he was lying. But that being said, if you known him for a while and he's been a good friend all that time you've known him, I'd let it slide. Friendship is worth more than a few $100s, and that was unintentionally lost. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, even though it may have been broken about or whatever, but if this person is generally a good friend, I think it's okay to forgive, maybe let it slide, even though that was against the bet. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, it's like the person said. It's definitely a little more less an asshole, but just a bad move, but you can move forward. If the bottle was mine, I'd probably let it slide, but the fact that my wife's changes things. She held on to that bottle for months and didn't even get the chance to drink it. Yeah, there's that too. I mean, honestly, it wasn't. I mean, maybe he was struggling to pay rent, but if we're talking this was months ahead, I don't. I mean, he could have saved up. Bro saved $0. That says a lot. Yeah, yeah, definitely true. I mean, he could have saved at least a little bit or contributed somehow back if he was serious about it, but he didn't save anything. So, nope. Why aren't we doing this on whoever's friend this is? Shouldn't it be about? Well, I guess the question is, it's not, are you the asshole? It's, am I the asshole? Somebody else agrees, not the asshole. Rick broke something in your house. Rick shouldn't be allowed back in your place until he makes amends, either by replacing the item or by covering the cost of it. It doesn't matter that the item was a bottle of liquor. It doesn't matter that Rick was drunk when he broke it. It's a very basic guest etiquette. If you break something in someone's house, accidentally, on purpose, or drunkenly, you make it right. Yeah, it's that simple. Just, you broke something and you want to come back, replace it. Be there. Okay, let's move on to another story. Am I the asshole for asking to borrow my GF's car after I made fun of it? Question mark. Okay. Oh boy, this one seems Pumo activated, it says on it, so I don't know what to expect with this one. My girlfriend is a very practical person and has a long run has a as long as it runs, I don't care kind of mentality towards cars and most things in general. I am an amateur mechanic and really like cars. Currently, I'm driving working on my BMW 535i. I don't know what that is. Oh, nice. Okay, back to the story. My GF has a 2015 Toyota RAV4, which she bought new. I have joked it is ugly and pissed her off. I mean, I didn't think she took it so seriously. My parents live in the mountains now, and my mom had her tonsils removed after frequent strep infections. Jesus. I wanted to visit her, but there was a lot of snow which froze, and my car is a rear-wheel drive. I asked to switch cars with my GF, and she said no. When I asked why, she told me that when I asked why, she told me I kept making fun of it. I hadn't made fun of her car for months, and it's ridiculous she still remembers and is making a big deal out of borrow her car. Okay. I argued. I'm sorry. This guy's grammar is god awful. Oh my god. I argued with her, but she wouldn't budge and told me to rent a car if it was such a big deal. Last minute rentals are like $150 a day, and I plan to stay overnight. $300 for a 3-hour drive seems crazy, and I offered to pay her $100 for her car for the weekend and got shut down. I feel like she is being childish, but am I the asshole for making fun of her car? Okay. Yeah, no, definitely Poo mode activated. I don't know why they specifically put that, but I'm going to assume it's because of the grammar, and my god, that was hard to read. So, I think you are probably the asshole for making fun of her car at the time that you did it. Now that time has passed, probably not as big of a deal. Yeah, I mean, if she bought it brand new and you're already making fun of it just because you like your car more, I mean, it's your girlfriend, like, you know, just be happy for her. And I mean, I don't know how often you did it, like making fun of her car or whatever she bought, but I guess maybe if it's like amongst bros, yeah, like just whatever. If you if you want to borrow, like, you can make fun of each other, make fun of whatever you got, but if you end up needing it and like you're good friends, you know, just sure. But if it's like no matter how much time has passed and she's still upset that you made fun of her car, so she won't give it to you, even though it's like for your mom who got tonsils taken out and it has infect, like it was a serious, you know, pretty serious thing to go see your mom for, right? And she's saying no, and just to make your life harder. I mean it is her car, so it is her right. But I think that's a pretty big stretch, I guess. I mean, if you're offering to pay and like you'll do what you gotta do, but no, I don't. I mean, if you're asking specifically for making fun of her car, at the time, yes, but now that time has passed, nah. I mean, it's just whatever. I mean, that's kind of, isn't that kind of screwed up? I mean, if it's your girlfriend, like she probably has interactions with your mom too, right? So to not give you the car, even like to go with you, I mean, I think it's kind of crazy. All right, let's see what some of the comments say. Top comment says, "You are the asshole. You made fun of her car and that hurt her feelings," which is what I was saying. So obviously you didn't apologize or did the lousy, "It was just a joke, babe. Don't take it serious," which is not an apology. So she is still holding to that grudge. Now you want to use her car after she is coming back at you for disrespecting her car, which is totally her right. Yep. She's not allowing you to borrow it, also totally her right. You need to instead pay $300, and you think it is crazy, but you haven't made an apologize. You haven't apologized, right? You have instead called her childish, ridiculous for making a big deal out of it, and all things are used as tactics to avoid taking responsibility and holding yourself accountable for your actions. You are the asshole, definitely, but not for making fun of her car, but for not taking responsibility for your actions that cause her hurt and not apologizing sincerely about it. If you had done either of those things, believe me, she would have reacted differently. Okay, uploading that right away. Okay, yeah, that's what I was saying. Yeah, maybe like, yeah, at the time he was definitely the asshole for making. Well, I guess what this person was saying was opposite, and actually I do think I follow this person's reasoning a lot more. Yeah, it's not about the joke specifically, but it's because you still haven't taken responsibility for the things you said, and you end up actually needing the car that you just made fun of, and it's her stuff that she bought. So yeah, keep your comments in check. I mean, yeah, like this person said, if you were serious about caring about her feelings and caring for what she has, and maybe that means what you'll be able to do, you'd be apologizing and be honest about it and accept responsibility for the things you said that hurt her. Like, yeah, given time has passed, but that doesn't, like, if you don't ever take responsibility for it, then yeah, it's still in conversation. So yeah, even though you think it might be lighthearted or you think it's funny, so, oh, don't take it so seriously, it was just a joke. Well, you know, obviously we all kind of do that. I do that a lot, but generally it's not about taking things for granted, like a person or something they have and then I use it. Like, no, I'm not gonna disrespect that, you know. And you disrespected it, and it sounds like you didn't apologize, and you even called her childish, man. It's your girl, and you made fun of her, and now she won't let you drive her car because of how you're treating it and her. So go apologize to your girl and make her some cookies, and there you go. Maybe you'll get access to the car, and I hope your mom's doing all right. Honestly, reading people's stories on this is I am absolutely surprised at what people ask on Reddit. I mean, that's just for all of Reddit, but specifically with this subreddit, I mean, there's gonna be so many people here thinking that they're doing something bad, and most of the time it's usually like they're in the okay when they tell this story, and they're genuinely asking, am I the asshole? So when I read some of these stories, like, oh, I don't know, I skipped my daughter's wedding, or oh, slipping some drugs, I haven't seen that yet, but I'm sure that's on there somewhere. Most of this is like just pretty real situations where somebody does something wrong. Either they do apologize and don't apologize, or make it right. It's pretty much just either do you make it right or are you making it wrong and choosing to not make it right? Today's people stories really just brought some interesting questions to mind, like how to handle like the Ricks of the world, or not speaking to your parents because something they said about you. I don't know. Just, yeah, I hope you all enjoyed today's videos. I certainly have brought some of these things into question, or certainly will give it some thought with these questions today. Leave down in the comments any other subreddits that you want me to review that I haven't seen yet. So far, we only got 2 videos down, but hey, I'm gonna keep it going. I'm very excited to see this scour the internet of Reddit and all the things that are Reddit. So yeah, I hope you all enjoyed today's video. And if you haven't seen my Republic Commando videos yet, definitely give it a check out. They're my latest stuff. All right, I'll catch you on the next video.